Welcome to Cheater Confessions. Let's get started with today's story. I was in the kitchen on a Tuesday evening chopping vegetables for dinner when my phone buzzed on the counter. It was a short message from Lana, my girlfriend of 3 years. "I'll be staying at Jason's tonight. Don't wait up." That was it. No explanation, no context, not even a call. Just a line that landed like a stone in water, rippling through everything I thought I knew. Jason, the coworker she always swore was harmless. The guy who liked every photo she posted and always seemed to have some urgent project that required her after hours. I looked at the message for a long time. My thumb hovered over the keyboard, and I thought about all the possible replies. I could have asked questions, demanded reasons, pleaded for honesty, but instead, I typed 5 words. "Thanks for letting me know." Then I set the phone down. I turned the burner off. Whatever appetite I had was gone. It wasn't just this text. The signs had been there for weeks. Late nights, quick exits to answer calls. Her screen flipped over when I walked past. Excuses that didn't add up. I wanted to believe her, so I let it slide. But this was the line. I walked through the apartment slowly, noticing the things that were mine and the things that were hers. The lease was in my name. The bills came to me. The furniture, the kitchenware, even the TV, purchased by me. She had brought her clothes, her shoes, her personal touches. That was it. I opened my laptop and started a quiet process. Downloaded the lease, bills, insurance, and utilities to a folder. Took photos of each room, documenting what belonged where. Sent the files to my personal email. A simple step, but important. Lana thought she was playing a game. Testing boundaries, seeing if I'd react. But I wasn't going to play. I had already decided. If she wanted Jason's place for the night, she could have it for good. Once the decision settled in my head, the next steps became clear. I wasn't angry. I was calm, focused, methodical. I pulled out a stack of flattened boxes from the closet. They were leftovers from when I moved into the apartment 2 years ago. I opened the first one, taped the bottom, and carried it into the bedroom. Her side of the closet was full. Dresses, jackets, shoes stacked in organizers. I started with the clothes. Folded each one, stacked them, and laid them in the box. It wasn't about revenge. It was about finality. When she came back, there would be no arguments about what stayed and what went. Everything of hers would already be packed. Box after box, I worked my way through the apartment. Makeup from the bathroom, perfume bottles, hairdryer, curling iron, all bubble-wrapped. I wasn't leaving her excuses to come back later, pretending she forgot something. By the time I finished, it was past 9. 8 boxes, 2 suitcases. I took photos of each one before sealing it, time-stamped, clear proof of what I packed. I loaded everything into my car. Jason's address was already in my Notes app. A month earlier, Lana had me drop her off there for a so-called team session. 20 minutes later, I was parked outside his building. Luck was on my side. Someone leaving held the front door open for me. I carried the first 2 boxes up to the 3rd floor, found Jason's unit, and set them down. The sound of music and laughter bled through his door. Definitely not a quiet work night. I stacked the rest of the boxes and luggage neatly against the wall, double-checked the labels, and placed a folded note on top. "Lana's belongings. Best of luck. Sean." I took a photo for my records, turned, and walked out. By 10:30, I was back home. By 11, the locks were changed. It didn't take long for the fallout to start. At 11:45, my phone lit up on the counter. Lana. I let it ring out. A minute later, another call. Then a third. By midnight, she'd left 5 voicemails and sent a stream of texts. "What is this? Why is my stuff at Jason's? Sean, answer me right now. This isn't funny." I stayed on the couch, watching the screen flash, calm as ever. At 12:30, pounding rattled the front door. The buzzer went off in rapid bursts, then fists hit the wood. I stood, walked to the door, and spoke through it. "Lana, you said you were staying at Jason's tonight. I just helped you make it permanent. Your things are at his place. Go there." Her voice cracked, high-pitched, angry. "Are you insane? It was just one night. You can't throw me out like this. You made your choice. I respected it. This isn't what I meant. Open the door, Sean, right now." I kept my tone even. "No! Go home, Lana. Your new home." A voice from down the hall broke in. Mrs. Alvarez, the older neighbor who lived 2 doors down. Is everything all right out here? It's past midnight. Lana fell silent, realizing she had an audience. Then her anger returned. You're humiliating me. Do you even care how this looks? I care about peace in my own apartment. Please stop disturbing the neighbors. I walked back to the couch and set my phone to silent. She banged for another 5 minutes before footsteps faded. At 1:15, the texts resumed. This time, longer. Apologies mixed with threats, promises tangled with curses. I didn't respond. By 2:30, the messages turned desperate. I'll sleep in the hallway if you don't let me in. At 3 o'clock, she called from a different number. When I answered, it was her friend Evelyn on the line, trying to mediate. Sean, please just talk to her. She's crying at my place now. I sighed. Tell her she wanted Jason's loft. That's where she belongs. I'm not changing my mind. I hung up. By 4 a.m., the apartment was silent again. I woke to sunlight cutting across the living room. My phone showed 20 missed calls and a wall of unread messages. I ignored them and brewed coffee. By 8:30, there was a knock on the door. Not Lana this time, but my landlord, Mr. Patel. He gave me an apologetic smile. Sean, your girlfriend came by my office this morning. Said you changed the locks by mistake. No mistake, I said, handing him a printed copy of the lease. She's not on it. Never has been. He scanned it, nodded. Just wanted to be sure. She was very insistent. She's not my tenant. She's my guest who decided to stay somewhere else. I respected that. He chuckled softly. Understood. I'll make a note in her file. She won't be getting a key from me. Not 10 minutes after he left, my phone rang again. Jason. I let it ring twice before answering. Bro, what the hell? Dropping her stuff at my door in the middle of the night? You invited her. I just expedited the process. It wasn't like that. We were working. Then you won't mind if I share your midnight texts with her? The ones where you call her beautiful and ask her to come over? Silence on the line. I didn't push further. You opened the door, Jason. Deal with what walked in. I ended the call. Around 11 o'clock, a uniformed officer knocked. Lana stood beside him, arms crossed. Sir, the officer began, this woman claims she's been unlawfully evicted. I gestured for him to step inside, then showed him the lease, my receipts from the locksmith, and finally, Lana's text from last night. I'll be staying at Jason's tonight. Don't wait up. The officer's eyebrows lifted. He turned to her. Ma'am, this looks voluntary. He packed your belongings and delivered them where you said you'd be. This isn't a criminal eviction. It's a civil matter. That's not fair, she snapped. It was a test. I met her eyes. If you loved me, you wouldn't play games. I don't chase tests. Her face went pale. She turned and stormed out. The ripple effect hit by noon. First came the call from Lana's mother, Darlene. Her voice was sharp, already raised before I could greet her. How dare you throw my daughter into the street? She's devastated, Sean. You owe her stability after everything. I leaned against the counter, coffee mug in hand. She texted me that she was staying at Jason's. I simply delivered on her words. All her belongings are safe with her. She made one mistake. You're her partner, not her executioner. She made a choice, Darlene. I just respected it. Legally, she was never a tenant here. No lease, no rent, no rights. There was a pause, then the predictable threat. She'll sue you. For what? I asked. Packing her things neatly and sending them to the man she said she'd be with? The silence stretched. Then she hung up. By 1 o'clock, Jason's girlfriend, Hannah, reached out. She'd found the boxes stacked outside Jason's door and demanded answers. In her messages to me, she attached screenshots of Jason's late-night flirting with Lana. Thanks for confirming what I already suspected, she wrote. The fallout spread further. Evelyn, the friend Lana had stayed with after her meltdown, called me privately. Sean, I think you should know. Lana's been telling people this was all to see if you'd fight for her. She said if you didn't react, she'd know you didn't care. I let out a humorless laugh. Then she got her answer. Evelyn hesitated. She's burning bridges fast. None of the girls want her on their couch anymore. She thought everyone would back her up. They're not. By late afternoon, the professional hammer dropped. HR at Lana's firm flagged her and Jason after a client accidentally copied their manager on a chain that made their after-hours work sessions too obvious. She called me 3 times, screaming about how I'd ruined her career. But the truth was simple. She had done that herself. When she texted that evening, "I'll come home if you just talk to me," I typed one reply and hit send. "You already home, Lana?" At Jason's. 2 days passed quietly. Then, Saturday afternoon, the quiet cracked. I was watching a game with the volume low when a loud rumble came from the street below. I glanced out the window. A U-Haul. 5 minutes later, heavy knocks rattled the door. I opened the peephole. Lana stood there with her brother Daniel and her cousin Harris. Daniel had a crowbar tucked under his arm. "Open up!" Lana shouted. "I'm moving back in." "You can't keep me out." I didn't move. "You're not moving back in, Lana. This isn't your apartment." Harris stepped forward, tried the handle. "This is family business, man. Just let her in." I had prepared for this. Instead of opening the door, I picked up the phone and dialed the landlord. Mr. Patel met me downstairs in the lobby within minutes, folder in hand. "All civil issues," he said firmly. "She has no claim here." When Lana and her entourage came storming down, Mr. Patel blocked the entrance with calm authority. "If you want to collect anything further, it must be scheduled through the proper process. No forcing doors, no threats." Daniel waved the crowbar. "This is ridiculous." I stepped closer to the glass door, phone raised. "Building cameras already caught you trying my lock. I'm calling the non-emergency line for a civil standby." The sight of me actually pressing the call button made Harris back off. "Come on, Lana. This isn't worth it." Within 20 minutes, a patrol car pulled up. The officer listened, then asked Lana directly, "Do you have proof of residency? Lease, mail, rent receipts?" She fumbled. "My clothes were here. My stuff was here." "Your belongings were delivered elsewhere with proof," the officer replied. "You cannot force entry." Her voice cracked. "But I have nowhere else." "That's not his responsibility," the officer said. Daniel muttered a curse and led Harris toward the truck. They drove off, leaving Lana standing on the curb, trembling with rage and humiliation. I walked back upstairs without saying another word. The stunt with the U-Haul didn't end her spiral. It accelerated it. By Monday morning, I got a fraud alert from my bank. Someone had tried to use the emergency card I'd canceled. Then, an hour later, a credit freeze notification pinged on my phone. She had attempted to open a new account with my information. I filed a report immediately. The detective on the non-emergency line was blunt. "That's attempted identity theft. Do you want to press charges?" "I'll think about it," I said. But I documented everything. Meanwhile, work caught up with her. HR suspended Jason pending review, and Lana was reassigned. Rumors spread fast. Clients had complained about late responses and odd billing hours tied to their work sessions. By Wednesday, Jason was out. Lana kept her job, but got benched into compliance training, a professional demotion she couldn't spin. That same day, Evelyn messaged me again. This time, she sent screenshots from Lana's group chat. My girlfriend had bragged about testing me, saying if I didn't react, she'd know I wasn't man enough to keep her. She even joked that I was just practice until she found someone better. I stared at the messages, calm. Confirmation, not revelation. I met with a family law attorney, Alicia Romero, the next afternoon. She listened quietly, flipped through the binder of documents I'd prepared, texts, photos, receipts, and nodded. "You've done half my work for me," she said. "We'll draft a separation agreement, financial boundaries, property rights, and a communication protocol. If she violates it, we'll escalate." When Lana received the papers, her response came within minutes. Furious texts, alternating between threats and pleas. "You're destroying me, Sean. You're supposed to stand by me. You'll regret this when you're alone." I didn't answer. Every line I'd needed to say had already been said. Now the paper trail would do the rest. The shift was complete. She was flailing, throwing punches in the dark. I was standing still, unshaken, holding the light. The final chapter came quicker than I expected. 2 weeks later, Lana agreed to a mediated meeting arranged by my attorney. We met in a neutral co-working space, her lawyer beside her, Alicia on my side. On the table were the storage receipts, the itemized inventory, and the separation agreement. She looked smaller than I remembered, hunched into herself, eyes ringed with exhaustion. Her voice cracked as she signed the property receipt. "You really boxed up our life like I was nothing." I stayed even. "I boxed up your things because you told me you were staying at Jason's. I believed you." Her lawyer slid the papers across, and she scrawled her name. No fight left. By then, Jason was already gone, resigned quietly after HR finished its review. Word was his girlfriend had left him too. Lana, meanwhile, was stuck in a desk job with no client-facing role, under compliance supervision. The fallout had done the work I never needed to lift a hand for. After the meeting, I walked out, papers tucked under my arm. For the first time in months, my shoulders felt light. That night, I came home, unlocked my door, and stepped into silence. No shouting, no buzzing phone, no tension hanging over the furniture. She thought it was a game, a test, a way to draw a reaction. But love isn't proven by jealousy or desperation. It's proven by respect, by honesty, by presence. And when someone tells you where they'd rather be, you believe them, and you help them move there permanently. I lifted my glass, tapped it lightly against the table, and smiled. The apartment was mine again. Peace had a sound. It was quiet. Thank you for watching.